Enough to be full go the next day.
All right.
Who's starting us off today?
What were your thoughts of Wilton in the first game?
I was real happy with the way he played. I don't think you could have asked for too much better. I mean, we missed 3 throws out of the 13 that we attempted, and one of them was, I think, a jump ball or an up and grabs for Amara, which probably underthrew just a little bit, and then one of them was kind of got turned around on one of a flat route that he threw, and then the first play of the game, which he rushed, and Jake really didn't run a great route, and ball should never have been thrown at that point in time. But other than that, made all the right decisions, threw some beautiful balls, hit different guys, hit I think 11 different receivers or something to that effect. And, he played smart, played good, had a tough. That's a tough deal. Your first throw is an interception, then the next time you throw, you're on the minus whatever 7-yard line or something it was, and do that slant, and did a great job.
He made a point of saying how much Jim just kind of almost laughed off the first one, said, hey, don't worry about it. How do coaches make a decision between hard coaching and just giving a guy confidence there?
Yeah, what I was always, kind of the school that I was from is you coach them as hard as you want on Sunday through Friday. And then on Saturday, you got to be their advocate on game day because they're the only ones that are really going through the war on that game day situation. And to second guess and to question things on game day and to be overly critical on game day, I don't know where the value is. I think Sunday we go into the film review or Monday and look through it and make all the corrections necessary. But our job at that point in time is really to support him and try to give him the best chance to succeed.
What were the things that set him apart, man? How hard of a decision was that?
It's a decision that, it went down to the end. And, I think the way I described it to the quarterbacks was, Wilton kind of had the pole position after spring. He kind of had a little bit of an edge. And, the race started and the green flag was waved and people were trying to pass people, but he just kind of never got past. He just never got past, and he just continued to play better. And Coach Harbaugh always says, "Iron sharpens iron." And I think what happened was John and Shane started playing better. So did Wilton, and it was just one of those deals that nobody lost the job. It was Wilton just, going into the opening day, had won the job.
Greg Carey said that Wilton really prepared for this job, studied film, Jake Rudock, kind of slipped himself under Jake Rudock's wing. How did that preparation give Wilton an edge in that competition? I
think they all did that, to be honest. John lived with Jake all last year, so John knew exactly how Jake prepared. Shane is constantly up here. You could always see Shane watching film and studying, and Wilton has a quiet way about himself, doesn't really go out in the forefront and tell you what he does, but he works very hard at it. He's very prepared. And so I think that has a lot to do with it. You obviously want to show up and be ready to execute, be ready to understand the plays that are being called and call them fast, get out of the huddle quick and let everybody know how well you know the offense.
From where Wilton was the first spring you guys had him to where he is now, is it almost startling how far he's come?
Is that a big jump? There's no question about that. From, at this point in time, going into the game 1 of last year, I think he only had about 75 reps in all of camp. And then to where he's at this point in time it's a huge jump. And I give him a lot of credit for it. I think he gained confidence in the game he went in. I think he gained confidence of just having some snaps. And really the second half of training camp of last year till, he just continued to improve. Spring ball was a lot for him a year and a half ago or so, but he's really improved every week and became more and more comfortable. But it's a different Wilton nowadays. It's definitely a more confident guy.
Is there more upside with this offense than last year's? More weapons, would you say?
Yeah, I think so, because we really didn't lose any weapons. They just got, I hope, better. In terms of the perimeter, everybody's back, and hopefully they've just gotten bigger, stronger, faster, and more comfortable. The tight ends are all back, but hopefully they got bigger, stronger, faster, more comfortable. And then we've added to it. The running backs, they're all back, and then we've added to it. So really the 2 guys we left are center and quarterback, right? Mason's did a great job. And then our quarterback, we'll see how each week goes, right? If he can continue to improve. But on the weapon side of it, all we've done is we've taken what we've had, we've made them better. We brought in Eddie McDoom and Keikoa Crawford and Chris Evans and plenty of other Devin Asiasi. And, you start bringing those guys in and don't lose anybody, you're going to be better.
At what,
Anything you guys did specifically with Wilton to get him from point A to where it is now, or is it simply he went in at that Minnesota game and found out he could do it?
Well, I think we coached him consistently every day, and we didn't let him get away with anything. And we stayed on top of the details, and which you would expect to do. But he really prepared. Like when he became the number 2 last year, when you're the number 2, you got to prepare to be the number 1, and you got to realize that you're one play away from going in the game. I think the reality check came is when he went into the game and we weren't winning.
Yeah.
Right? And then you really realize not only are you one play away from having to go in the game, you're one play away to have to try to win the game. And I think that really helped him.
When you say you didn't let him get away with anything on the field, whatever that is, what does that mean?
Well, I think what you can decide you're only going to coach a starter a certain way or a backup a certain way, but if you just hold everybody to the same standard, and I think that's what we tried to do with all of our quarterbacks. There's not a certain standard for different guys. It's the same standard. It's we expect certain things from every one of our players. We expect them to call the play in the huddle the same way, whether you're the first quarterback or the fifth quarterback. Your cadence should sound the same way if you're the first quarterback or the fifth quarterback. And I think that what he realizes, that's just the standard we're going to have here. And because of that, hopefully your only option is to improve.
And the deep shot too, Kamara, the one you talked about earlier. I didn't know there's many shots downfield. Doesn't you try to ease a new quarterback into with shorter routes, or is that just what the game?
I think the nature of the game at that point, we didn't have to throw the ball, downfield. And, I don't know what that would have really done for us or for anybody to just start launching balls with the score the way the score was. We just, move the chains. We thought that was important. Move the chains, stay on the field, see if we can convert third downs. We were fortunate we only had 7 third downs in the game, right, and converted on all 7. 5 of them were 3rd and 2s, so if you could run the ball like that, right, run the ball for 300 yards and then only have to worry about converting 3rd and 2s, you don't need to take shots.
Last year was kind of an ongoing process with Jake getting that deep ball timing, that type of thing. Is that something you want to work in, even if the next couple games are lopsided scores as well? Or?
Yeah, I don't know. Different situation. It's a different deal. It's a different quarterback. It's a different team.
at what point in the fall camp did you know McDoom was going to be able to help you with his speed?
Oh, well, we knew when we recruited him that he was going to be able to help us with his speed. There was no doubt about that. He's got elite speed. And then we heard that from the strength coaches that that information was correct. And then we got out there and we started seeing how he ran, what he could do, and realized that there's some value there with that speed that we needed.
Jedd, with the young weapons that you guys do have on offense, is there a balance? I mean, you know what they can do, a lot of potential, but is there a balance there where you don't want them to maybe do too much, you don't want to force them into maybe young mistakes?
Yeah. Sure, you got to look into that. We don't need to overwhelm them, and I think that's part of the whole process of game planning and the whole process of, trying to figure out what's best for those guys and, give guys packages, give them certain things to really focus in on. And while they're focusing on their smaller packages, they have to, absorb the whole thing. And that's what the younger guys are doing. They're focusing in on their certain plays, and then as it goes, they'll start getting more of those, and in turn, they'll improve.
With